Wow, it's a little windy out here, but warm and sunny, so I'm grateful. I think I will actually got some plants in my hair. Just make sure it's not a bug. I got to make sure that I can get my garden in order here. So let me show you what I'm doing. Happy Wednesday. See, these pots are nice too. You can plant bulbs in here. So I got tulips coming up over here. But I gotta clean all those things out. It's blowing too. I probably should get out of this spot because it'll just be blowing in my eyes. That's one thing you have to be careful of when you garden. You have to be careful of stuff blowing inside of your eyes. Like if you're cutting down something too, because sometimes things flip backwards, you know. I actually almost tripped backwards over a rake when I first moved into my house here. And you know what saved me? It was a robin. I was moving backwards and he chirped and I stopped, and then I was moving backwards again doing something, I don't know, and he chirped again and I turned around and there was the rake. So you know, I don't know, animals are amazing, right? Babies, animals. I don't know why anybody would hurt anybody in this world. I don't know, it's such a beautiful world. You know, I mean, we are facing challenges. There's a lot of challenges, but you know, there's transformation too. And that's what the darkness doesn't want us to do. It doesn't want us to focus on the light. It wants us to focus on the fear. It wants us to focus on the fear. And I was listening to this podcast today, and this lady and this guy, I think his name is Adam Ortiz or something. I don't know, he's really good. He had this lady on, I didn't catch her name. But she was saying, yeah, we manifest from the universe, right? It's not from a physical form that we manifest. It's from an energy. It's from a light body. It's almost like a pattern, you know? So you have the pattern and your body is created. That's why when people lose an arm or a leg, they still have sensation in it. They call it the phantom limb syndrome. I don't know if you heard of that. But I really believe that we're moving into an age where we can regrow limbs, you know? Did you hear about that lady too online? She has a book out about telling people how to fast. No, actually telling people... Well, I don't know if she was really telling people. I haven't read her book. But she got in trouble because people were thinking that they could just go without food and water and just only breathe air. You can't do that from a mental space. You can't do that from a cognitive space. You have to do that from a heartfelt soul space. And there's very few people could do that. A lot of your yogis could, right? But they spent a lot of time in meditation and service. So she shouldn't be telling people that. People should eat right for wherever they're at their time. Because everybody's at a different level of dimension, right? We all have a different frequency. Oh my God, I didn't notice this before. Let me shut up for a minute. We all have a different frequency. Look at the frequency of this. Look at the frequency of this. I just noticed it. The baby buds. They're on my flat peach tree. So, wow. So, you know, maybe I will get some flat peaches. But see, what happens is the wind comes through. I think I planted this in the wrong place. The wind always comes through here like a tunnel, unless I plant higher bushes to break up the wind current. I was thinking of doing that anyway. I think I'm going to hire a gardener. I'll tell you, at 77 and a half, this is a lot of work. But, you know, I love it. I love it. And I can't think in times of... I mean, in spring, it's funny when you're a gardener because you want to get everything done at one time. But that's not what gardening is supposed to be. Gardening is supposed to be a leisure experience. Except I think I made my garden too complicated. I planted too many different things. And my rue bushes now are all dead from when they dug up the pipe. So I will have to put in some new bushes there. I mean, like a hot pink color. So let me do a little Reiki, and look at this giant thing I have to take out. I don't know, I told my son, don't ever buy me a mum like that. Buy me little mums that I can plant, right? And there's my digger. So once I figure out how to set up this whole camera thing, then I can just like let this record, and I can... So, yeah, this is my third time at the bank. Just when people always go, oh, you're retired? Isn't that great? You know, it's like... No, sometimes I'm bored out of my friggin' mind because I'm trying to heal my body too. So I have to force myself to rest, right? And that's not me. I like to be doing things, having the energy going. At least I got out here today, right? So praise the Lord. But yeah, I went to the bank 3 times to get money out of a mutual fund. It's like, this is what they should give you. This is, I know what to do. If you're ready to retire, no matter what profession you're in, and if your company has a 401(k) or 401k or 401b, there's all these, it's just insane, right? Just insane. Why can't we just simplify it all? And all these forms, right? Form this and form that, and and because it was Mercury retrograde, and I was trying to do this banking under Mercury retrograde, and I knew I'd have to do it over again. I just didn't know I'd have to do it over 4 times. So I gotta fill out this one form now. I think we got the right form now. You see this little robin bopping across the grass. It's so cute. And I'll have to submit them. And I had to take a break, so I said, hell with it all. I have to take a break. Have to go out. Robins, they always walk with their chins up like this, like, oh, what can I see? What can I see? I should go get one of those chin lifts, right? Okay, let me do some Reiki on you guys, because I'm just babbling on. But it's such a beautiful day. It makes you babble. You need to be outside. You need to be in a babbling brook. This is the babbling brook right here. The babbling brook of life. I really like this plant. Let me show you this again. I forgot the name of it. It almost looks like a giant rose. Right in front of the log. That one. See that? I'll have to find a name again. But it kind of grows these spikes out of it. It grows these spikes out of it that are produce flowers. And a lot of the seeds, the reason my garden is so messy right now is I leave a lot of plants up for the birds. Like, that's what I learned. I learned that if you have, what are those flowers called? This with the spikes? It's a spiky flower. But anyway, you leave the spikes on even after they dry up with the little button in the middle. It's a cute flower. I better get going. It's getting windier out here. So I gotta kind of finish up some stuff that I want to do. But here, let's do some Reiki. Stay in your heart. Yeah, and like I said, you might feel some buzzing in your feelings, as long as you don't have any kind of neurological condition. So, and I said you move when you meditate, and well, we're going to do some of that. It's just that I kind of have to take care of my life right now, so that I'm going to do these quick ones in the garden, because that's actually where I'm going to be spending most of my time. I finally got I think I took off tomorrow too. Even it's funny, because even when you're retired, right? Even when you're retired, you have to kind of be on a schedule in a way, a little bit. But what's nice about being on a schedule when you're retired, and this is one benefit. Okay, there's 2 benefits. First of all, if I would have known sooner how to invest my money, I probably would have just put more money in my investment accounts, like when I started, for at least 20 years, and then I could have probably retired earlier. Because if you get a CD, it's 10%. Or 8%, you're still going to pay your broker a commission. But, you still can make some really good money. And this is what they don't teach, and they really should teach it in high school. Actually, a little bit in 8th grade. We used to have classes like that. And then in high school, right? And they could teach budgeting, and they could teach finances. There's got to be a lot more realistic connections. And that's what I always used to teach in my classrooms were realistic connections. So I'm going on YouTube and I'm studying, what all the stuff is. I don't have the lingo for money. I don't have a banker's head set. You know, I'm learning, but it's frustrating because it's not like what I want to do. It's gray for me. It's a very. I'd rather pay somebody else to manage my funds, pay my bills, manage my funds, and let me just, maybe my son will do it, and I'll just be in my airy fairy world. That's what I'd like to do. And then I can just devote all my time to writing and meditating. So I don't know, I'm going to talk to him about it. But yeah, so I would suggest, if you're ready to retire, and this is my advice, it's my opinion, if you're ready to retire, it's a really good idea. Just go to one of these junior colleges, or, you know, or I live near Oakton Community College. You could go to a community college and take a book at, you know, maybe that's what I need to do. I need to speak for myself, right? I need to take a class in bookkeeping, not bookkeeping, bank management, bank investments, right? Investing, that's what it is. Because what you want to learn as much about an investment portfolio as possible, because they're not all equal. And then you have to know your tax category. So I was like freaking out, because if I took money out of my annuity, this is for people who are interested in this, I'm sorry if I'm boring other people. But if you have an annuity, right, and I had VALIC and then they switched into Corebridge, and I lost years ago. I really didn't like VALIC because I lost 40 grand, right? But, and then I'd had to talk to 6 people. Okay, this is what it took. This was not a funny situation. I started during Mercury retrograde. I had to talk to 6 people with Corebridge. And then I had to go to the bank 3 times, and I'm not done. So I realized that why should I stress myself out, you know, worried about this? It's in God's hands. Trust in Jesus, that's what I believe. Trust in the angels, trust in your little fairies and gnomes and elves. Trust them in all, trust in the rabbits and the squirrels. But yeah, I figured, why am I stressing myself out over this? You know, I need to put my energy elsewhere. I mean, I like my banker, you know. So then the next thing I'm going to have to work on, I'm learning about how to do a revocable trust. I'm learning how to do that too. So I feel like I'm in my own classroom, and I would suggest that you guys, especially if you're older and you are getting closer to retirement, I mean, those are things you want to think about, is a revocable trust. Because, like, I didn't even know, well, what do I do with my car? Is that something that goes in your trust, you know? And they go, what did they say about that? No, it doesn't have to go in your trust. You could just put in your revocable trust who it goes to. And then they can take care of the selling of it and all that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to know. There's a lot to know. And I should get back to this. So, the material world... And you know, I mean, I don't want to say I could see how people live in a tent on the street, but I mean, there's a certain freedom in it. You know, there's a certain freedom in just being there, you know, being in a tent on the street. But then you got all those other stresses, right? The bathroom, the shower, the clothes, you know, people robbing you, raping you. You know, I don't know, it's raping you. Excuse that. There's got to be affordable shelter for people. That's number one. Number one. Got to be affordable shelters, and they're coming about. They're slowly but surely coming. I even seen things on dome houses. So put the word out there. Talk more about dome houses. You know, especially if you're living in Tornado Alley, you want to build half of the dome above the ground and half of the dome under the ground. But what do? We go back and we build our little matchbox, little square houses. Little square houses. So yeah, if you're thinking about changing your life right now, there's so many alternatives. There's just so many alternatives. You know, you don't have to stay living where you are, or, you know, you can change your life. I really believe, I don't even know if I'm staying where I am. All I know is I'm being here now and I'm playing in my garden. That's all I know right now. And when I get another message, then I will decide what to do. But right now, to give beauty to the world, I love to just create my garden. So, like, I hope you do that too somehow, that you I really got into pots this year. I'm going to get into them more, actually. I mean, I have a few. But the one thing I did buy, oh my God, I haven't even showed it to you guys. Look. It's not the right color, though. It's not the color I ordered. But it's still cute, right? It didn't say where it was made. I was actually going to go take a pottery class and make some of these. Aren't they adorable? Bird bats? I still would like to take a pottery class and make some of those. But it's for the birds. It's for it's a bird bath. Because it's going to get hot, and I like to watch them take a bath. So yeah, this is the area that I want to extend. I want to extend this all the way out. And I already have a design. I just hope it doesn't cost. So, but it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a nice deck out here. So, and you know, I want to recycle the pavers too. I don't want to just discard them because they're still good. They still cost money. We still can recycle them and reuse them. So a lot to think about, right, guys? A lot to think about in the world. Yeah, this one YouTuber, I feel like I helped him out. He was stuck in, where was he stuck? Not Dubai, that other Qatar. He was stuck in Qatar, right? So this YouTuber, he was stuck in Qatar. And I could tell from working with children in the classroom that he was having an anxiety attack. It's like he was experiencing PTSD because he was in Qatar and the bombs were falling, right? And he's stuck in his stupid hotel room, right? And he's literally pacing the floor. What is his name? Gabriel, I think? Great Gabriel Traveler or something. But I said, you know, there's other ways to get out of a country besides by plane. I said I'd get my nearest camel and I'd get the hell out and I'd do it ASAP. And you know what? He did. And I said, you know what? Take a friend with you, or try to take a friend with you. Take somebody with you, if you can. And I said, and make sure to bring water. And he did. He listened to me, and he did it in 24 hours. And I was so grateful to God. I was like, somebody heard me. Somebody heard my advice. And I helped him to get out. I mean, I just... And then they had to do a border crossing. And then he found out that to do the border crossing, you had to have a visa ahead of time. Otherwise, they wouldn't let you go across the border. So I guess he got it online or something like that, or saved it on his phone. I don't know. People do all sorts of stuff now. But yeah, so, you know, it's nice to go on YouTube and be able to help people out, right? Even though if you never met those people in physical body, right? It's nice to know that there's a possibility he can't be that narcissistic and say, oh, maybe, you know, because it may not have been my message. I don't know, because he never addressed me. Usually when you address somebody, you have to put their name in the post. That's the comment section. That's like the polite way of doing it. So listen, guys, I don't know, I just feel like gone, but I can't believe I have buds on my flat peach tree. So this area here, let's see. I don't know, it's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I could do more here. Or I could move down to the corner. I kind of want to do a little more here. Because you know what? These things grow so fast, right? And I know I've got flowers under there. So, but, you know, have a great day. Let me do one more Reiki in the heart. Let us be grateful for what we have in this moment in time. We don't be so time tripping. Time tripping. There was a song like tripping into the future. Remember that song? Tripping. People are old like me and grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. A tripping into the future song. Yeah, I'm still having some digestive stuff. So, okay, so that's when you fast. That's when you start to fast. Give your body a chance to rest and heal. So, when you're having issues, because you got to figure out what's going on, right? Got to figure out the major issue. So get outside, do something peaceful today. And we got a full moon coming up. Big full moon. We're the first, I think in April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day. All right, you guys, God bless. It's so funny. I could sit here and hear the children in the playground. Yeah, let's pray for our kids and some healing energy to the children of the world and the babies. You know, the older people, the people who can't take care of themselves. You know, the homeless can't take care of themselves. They need help. So we have to do more service in the world. Oh my God, the wind is getting stronger because, you know, the weather's going to change. Let's pray for a peaceful evening.